Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning on this morning's different type of topic. For all of you out there, my cultists, my Trevorites, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting me on this channel. Thank you to those who have came across to Instagram, where it is now, as far as I'm concerned, the #1 platform for getting out the truth because you can control it. Now, I want to put this out. There's loads of stories in the media at the minute, and there's loads of things coming out about a certain couple. And we're starting to put two and two together, and we're really to see what's going on. Now, I started YouTube, I think it was 2021. Now, I had a YouTube channel for 10 years previous, but I only started uploading videos in 2021. And that was because I was doing loads of interviews. I was doing things with Good Morning Britain, with Piers. I was doing things with Kay Burley on Sky, and David Willits in The Sun, and Mark Nichol from The Mail, and Sean Raymond from the Sunday People, Sunday Mirror, and Deborah Hayes from The Times, Richard Kerjab from The Telegraph. And I was doing all these different interviews, even on, whether it was Russia Today, back before the war, clearly. There was also lots of Sky things, and I did BBC interviews before I realised, yes. So I did them all, and I wanted somewhere to have where I could collate all those interviews together on a platform, and I chose YouTube. Little did I know. So I started doing interviews, and I started doing rants, and people, a lot of people, sort of went, Trevor's, he aligns with my thoughts. Now, I'm not saying I'm this or that or special or worse or better than anyone else, but I've been to combat, and whether you like it or not, I do have a gallantry medal, which helped open doors at the MOD. I went down and had a couple of meetings with the Chief of Defence Staff, Richard Nugey, you know who I mean, and I was pushing things. I got invited by Sir Michael Fallon to the very first veteran strategy debate in the House of Commons. I met Michael Fallon outside Downing Street, and he invited me, gave me his card. I also went into the House of Commons to have chats and talk to Anne-Marie Trevelyan, who is a great MP for Berwick-on-Tweed. And I started talking to MPs, and I was able to push things, and it was fantastic, and I enjoyed it. But then I spoke out, didn't I? A combat veteran. Now, here's the thing that I have. Many veterans that have been involved in combat and seen traumatic things end up having no filter. They say what they want, they need to. They just get it off their chest. And sometimes it upsets a lot of people. Now, the weird thing is, I want to point this out, Harry came back from Afghanistan. He wanted to help veterans. He wanted to do this. He had all these plans. He was going to be the next Tsar, the star of the veterans community. We could have, but he chose not to. He chose not to. He walked away as Captain General from the Royal Marines. He chose to go to a Disney premiere over a memorial of fallen Royal Marines that were killed by an IRA bomb, which sort of had a sour taste in my mouth. And then I was asked, I would usually get floor managers from TV programs say, Trevor, we'd like to have you on tomorrow at 10 or tonight at 6. Okay, yep. What's the topic? Well, we want to talk about this and this and this. And I would give my opinions to the floor managers of the different networks, and they would go, that's exactly what we want. Can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And I would go and I would say, well, truthfully, members of the royal family don't do frontline. Yeah, but what about Andrew Andrew Floor? Yes, he was in the air, helicopter. He did that. Yeah. But there was also, you've got to remember that when Prince Andrew was there, you had different jets in the air as well. There's always protection. So, and I spoke out saying, well, I don't believe that he was on the front line. There's no way. Now, I honestly believe, and I can never name people about this, NDAs, non-disclosure forms, were signed by soldiers that served around Prince Harry. So they could never talk about what happened. I once had a message on my WhatsApp from a retired captain who was Special Boat Service and different people saying, please don't mention me in certain things. Please don't. People saying, because you know what? No one can afford a lawsuit if Harry goes after them. They can't afford a lawsuit. So that's kept a lot of people not speaking. But I don't care. I don't have any assets. I'm happy to speak out about things. My mental health lets me have no filter, and I spoke out. So I started putting out things about this. Now, the weird thing is this. The minute I started talking about things, my YouTube channel got hit with restrictions and warnings and mass reported. There was a guy on Twitter who still does it, Mr. Christopher Boozy, starts putting out things about me, and his thousands and thousands of followers then mass support my channel. They mass support channels that talk about Harry and Meghan. We get mass reported. We get demonized. We get called racism. We get called scammers and thieves. And then there's a small minority, and I'm going to say, wow, I think at the most eight. There's 8 military veterans that constantly attack me. Scammer, thief, this, that. They try and destroy, let's report them to the police. Let's get them this, witness intimidation. And they go after you. They try to destroy your reputation so people don't take you seriously. And then they go, oh, well then what he's saying about Harry must be false because of this, this and this. And that's how they do it. It's how they do damage control. He speaks out, we need to stop this. Anyone that speaks, anyone that questions the children or the pregnancy or the bump, again, get demonized. Let's destroy them. Let's make them out to be mad. And that's what they do. But what I have noticed, and thanks to Dan Wootton, and thanks to Angela Levin, and thanks to Tom Bowers, and thanks to Taz, and Popcorn Planet, and Sue Smith, and Fiona, and Wally, Duchess of North Sussex, the list is endless. If I've left you out, I apologise. Because people question this, they then get restrictions, and they lose thousands of dollars each month at YouTube, and they're getting invalid traffic, and it's massive restrictions. But what we have noticed is this. Thanks to Harry and Meghan doing a Netflix documentary and bringing on Mr. Christopher Bouzy, who's the CEO of Bot Sentinel, that go around trying to get rid of misinformation and disinformation about Harry and Meghan, but at the same time putting out hate campaigns about people, so they cause misinformation and disinformation. That's quite strange. So what's happened here? Harry and Meghan run Archewell. Archewell falls under the talent management of WME. WME have been working with the Aspen Institute, which Harry has made it quite clear he's part of. There's been donations made to Bot Sentinel, run by Christopher Bouzy. And there's now connection between Christopher Bouzy and the Sussex Squad. Now, we also know that Sarah Data stupidly mentioned that she worked for one of the social media platforms, Google. So now we have somebody to connect right back to the Duchess and Dutch of Sussex, sausages, all the way around that circle to Google, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, who add restrictions. So now we have a connection, don't we? We have a connection. And the weird thing is this. For an individual that preaches mental health and disinformation, misinformation, and wants to clear up the internet, there's connections of money coming from them to discredit combat veterans with mental health conditions. Isn't that strange how it works? Well, people, listen, thanks for watching my video. Thanks for sticking by my channel, supporting me on PayPal. And for those of you on Instagram, thanks very much for making the jump. I do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.